Hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Miss Coffee here, and today we are doing a whip and chat. Whip stands for work in progress. So get out whatever that is for you. Work along with me as I tell you some stories from the coffee house shenanigans. Now, we had a pretty normal-ish type weekend this weekend. But let's talk about school real quick. Let's talk about school. Today, all three kids are officially back in school. And I'm pretty excited about this because, one, the oldest is in her junior year? I believe it's junior year in high school. And I'm not saying that like I don't know. I'm trying to figure out like if 11th grade is junior year. My brain today. And then, of course, we have Mr. Orion at Hogwarts, and then Maggie's in 4th grade. Now, I've never in my life had such a pleasant experience with picking children up from school. And I want to talk about this because this is something that needs to be talked. One, I want to know, like a lot of you had said in the last video, because I've been saying this. One, I wish they offered this type of schooling for all schools, okay? This is like a really organized, like, symphony of academic excellence. Like, I cannot even begin to tell you how organized these people are. One, just picking the kids up from school has been a joy. And for those wondering, yes, she's back. And who am I talking about? I'm talking about my best friend. Now, you've ever heard me talk about the racist lady at my daughter's school? She is back again this year. It looks like her daughter either, I'm going to guess her daughter's probably in the same grade as Maggie. So it looks like we'll be following each other until at least 5th grade or 6th grade. So, she's back. And of course, she's still parking where I need to park, which, you know, it's not my parking spot, but in my head, it's my parking spot, and everything about her gives me diarrhea. So I'd rather her park, you know, somewhere else. But for the last couple of days, just by the time that I get there, one, the kids don't get out of school until 3 o'clock. I get to my daughter's school usually between 2 to 2:15. Now, this year has been a little bit different because when I go to the school this year, since they've been in school, like since last week, the parking lot, like where I normally would park, where there's usually nobody, and I show up at 2 o'clock and I can have my choice of spots. By the time I get there at 2 o'clock, all those spots are taken. And I'm like, so y'all just really ain't got nothing to do today? Y'all all just gonna come sit in here? Like, I'm not coming any earlier than this. Like, I'm not doing it. So I just parked on the other side of the road. I don't give a crap. But in doing that, that means I'm parallel to my best friend, to which she gonna end up getting back problems. And I'm not gonna say that I'm concerned about it, but I'm gonna say I'm a little concerned about it because she literally, this is how much this woman despises me, okay? Now, take it. I've only had like, what, 2 or 3 conversations with her, and they weren't even really conversations. They were just us talking back and forth, which I guess is a conversation. But I haven't really talked to her to do anything to make her hate me. I mean, just my existence makes a lot of people hate me, and that's fine. But this woman, she's really like, okay, let me explain what I'm talking about here. So I'm sitting here yesterday and I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and park the car, and then I got to record my Patreon clip. Because now that I'm back at, like, we're back on school time. Sorry, Killian's over here like barrel rolling on my blanket. But now that we're back to school time, I record my Patreon clips while I'm in the car. So, because what else the hell am I going to do? I'm in a car. So I'm sitting there recording my clip, and I look over, and she has somehow, like, she's sitting in her seat, but she's turned her back. So her back is towards me. One, at first I thought she was putting out the visor because she didn't want to be on camera, which with that face, I don't blame you, honey. But no, she just doesn't want me to see her face. Like, I give 2 flying flip-flops about what her face looks like. And she legitimately stayed like that for an hour. And I'm thinking, how many days are there in a school year? You're telling me that in this entire school year, for an hour every day, you're going to sit turned with your back towards me for the entire school year. You know what? Good luck to your chiropractor, okay? I hope they get rich, because what's wrong with you? I've never been so mad at somebody that I will make myself visibly discomfortable just so I don't have to look at them and they can't see me. Like, what do you think I'm going to do? Steal your soul? Get out of here, chick. Nobody cares about you. So Maggie's school picking her up is a lot easier now because she comes out the back door. And the way that their school is set up, her coming out the back door means she comes out quicker than she did last year. So I'm like, heck yeah. So usually we're leaving. Last year we would go to leave Maggie's school. It'd be like 10 after 3. Now we're leaving at 4 after 3. And I'm like, let's go. Like, I'm here for it. I'm here for the early dismissals. But I was like, but let's give the year some time, because this just could be because it's new and the students haven't started acting out yet. So I'm like, let's give it some time. So I'm sitting there and Maggie gets out of school, and this is the best part. We drive over to Orion's school. Now, Orion's side of school, like across town, they don't get out of school until 3:15. And they do that to give the parents that have to go to the elementary school time to get over to the other school so their kids aren't just sitting outside marinating in the hot sun or the freezing temps. So I appreciate them doing that, because by the time I get to Orion's school, I'm sitting a total of 2 minutes. You hear me? Two of them. 2 minutes. Now, the way the parking lot is set up at Hogwarts, right? Which is now what we are going to be calling Orion School, because that's what it reminds me of. So now the way Hogwarts is set up, when you go into their parking lot, so there's the school and then there's the parking lot. When you go into the parking lot, there's 6 lines in the parking lot. And I'm like, the fact that you even have a parking lot, kudos. There's 6 lines in the parking lot, and you fill those lines up as you come in. So like and it's not like, oh, these people are going to be ignorant and just park at the end and not pull all the way up. Nay. I'm talking about these people are a orchestra of vehicular whatever. Like, they are just like, do-do-do-do-do-do-do. And I'm like, oh my God, yes, people who have half a brain. So I get in the line, and they don't have like a regular like school bell, like that little school bell you normally hear. It's like a chime of some sort. Like, it almost sounds like my Ring doorbell, okay? And I'm just like, that's a soothing sound to hear at the end of the day. And then you see children nicely coming out of the school, talking, holding books, looking all happy. But if you look across the street at the school he was going to, everybody's running out of the school like it's on fire. People are yelling and screaming. Little kids throwing their backpack, because there's always that one child outside that's acting out, trying to get attention from somebody there because nobody's paying attention to them. And I look back over at this school, and it's like, I'm really going to like it here. Because last year, one of those times I was sitting outside, that random child that likes to throw their backpack threw their backpack at my car. And I'm like, excuse me? What the flip? And then his mom's like, it's okay. Is it okay? Is it okay if I get your insurance information? Because your son just like scratched my car up with the zipper of his backpack. Like, what the hell? So I was pretty happy at the parking situation. But this is the best part. The way the parking lot works is once your child gets in the car, you literally just pull forward and pull out of the parking lot. Boom. Like that. It's like butter every day. Just smooth. Just out. Just real quick. And I'm like, is this going to be I'm like, this isn't going to be every day. This is just because like people are showing out right now. They're like, yeah, look, we have half a brain, but give us a couple of days and we'll lose our minds. No. This is like vehicular like dancing. This is like synchronized vehicular dancing. This has happened every day. Last year we would get home by like 4 o'clock with traffic and trying to find a parking spot and finding Orion through the crowd of children and watching children fall down the stairs at the old school, because that was always hilarious. Don't worry, none of them hurt themselves. It was just one of those things where those kids would start running, and they had like 3 flights of stairs, and they would start running, would then stop or something, and then they would like trip and fall down a few stairs. Look, listen, you don't want me to laugh? Be careful. They told you to stop. Like, the teachers would tell them to stop running, and they would keep doing it. All right, bet. So don't get mad when I get my 7 chuckles in. Don't judge me. Anyways, so we pick up Orion. With the new school year, we are now home by, like, I'm in the garage by 3:30. How is this possible? How is there such thing as a school this wonderful? And I'm just now hearing about it. And I'm just like, can he just go here forever? I won't complain not another motherfucking time if he can just go here forever, okay? He needs his wizarder school. And what I want to do, because every day I ask him how Hogwarts is, and he's like, Mom, I'm not a wizard. I'm like, you're a wizard, Orion. So what I want to do is I want to find a really cool Harry Potter wand, right? And it goes with it because what I'm going to do is I'm going to finally hang up the pictures because he just got like 4 massive diamond paintings that were completed by Elisa. So huge thank you to Elisa because he's like bugging me every day to hang them up. And I haven't had a chance to because the way my life is set up, Mr. Coffee doesn't like me using his power tools and stuff. And the last time I lost or used the hammer, I lost it. How? I don't know. Where is it? I still don't know. It's been lost for like a year. Anyways, we're going to move on from that because that's not important. What is important is I want to hang up the pictures in his room and then buy him a wand, like a Harry Potter, like straight up out of wizarding school wand. And then that way he has a wand to go with all his stuff. And it's funny because we go to Walmart the other day and I'm like, okay, it's about that time. It's about damn time. We go to Walmart the other day and we're sitting there and I went to go get, what did I go get? I think I want to go get barbecue sauce or something for dinner. And Maggie looks over and they're already putting out Halloween stuff. Y'all, it is almost time for fall. It's fall, y'all. It's about turn fall. And I know it is because I woke up this morning and had to put on a jacket. I sent my youngest to school in a winter jacket. Did she need to wear the winter jacket? No. Did she insist on wearing that winter jacket to school today? Yes. Is it going to be 92 degrees today when she gets out of school? Yes. Do you think when I pick her up, she is still going to be in that winter jacket? Yes. Why? Because Maggie is a nightmare human, okay? So we go to Walmart the other day, and like I said, I think I was going for barbecue sauce, and then I was like, oh, you know, the kids wanted to buy me something for my birthday, and they ended up buying me nails. So the nails I currently have on were bought by Orion, and then the ones you'll see me on next will be from Maggie. So Orion won rock, paper, scissors. That's why his got put on first. So we're sitting there and we go to pass by the aisle where all the school supplies were, which kudos to my Walmart because they actually kept the school supplies stocked all 3 months. Our school supplies actually got put out this year in June. Like legit, the kids got out of school for summer and they had already started putting out school supplies. And I'm like, don't do this to me. Don't do this. But they kept them stocked all 3 months. Even me doing it at the very last moment did not hinder me from getting every supply that they needed. Now, Orion School apparently didn't need supplies because they are supplied with everything that they do need. All he needed was a composition notebook. Real easy, like 50 cents. Bet, got you. Maggie, on the other hand, needed all kinds of crazy crap. And I'm like, you know what? This is the last year for the crazy crap. So I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Technically, she has 2 more years of the crazy crap before she heads on over to the school with Orion. The school that Orion goes to is 6 through 8. So Orion will be there until 8th grade. And then Maggie will hop on over there in 6th grade. And they'll be in school together for a year. And then he goes to the high school. And she will be still in that other school. So that should be picking up the kids' fun. If nothing else, Orion, by that time, Orion be walking or riding a bike or something. So yeah. So we go to Walmart and we pass by one of the aisles where they had the school supplies. And Maggie's like, oh, Mommy. I'm like, what, Maggie? She's like, Halloween. Is it Halloween? I'm like, chick, it's not even September yet, y'all. They got out winter jackets, winter boots, winter gloves, winter hats, winter socks, winter jammies, and Halloween costumes. It's still August. I don't think anybody gave Walmart the memo that it's still August, but they're putting out Halloween stuff. And I'm like, you know what? Get in where you fit in. You know what I mean? Like, if that's what you got to do to make sure you stay in stock, then you do you, boo-boo, because I'm not going to be mad at you when I can come in here October 29th and buy a Halloween costume that my child really wanted. I'm not going to even be mad. Orion just asked that this year he not get an inflatable costume because walking around in that thing and having to be put into the trunk because you don't fit in the car, well, apparently was not fun for him last year when he decided that he wanted to be a Minecraft character riding a llama. So this year he has 2 options that he wants to go with. He either wants to do a Bruno Mars or Bob Ross. That's what I was trying to say. Bob Ross. And I'm like, why do you want to be Bob Ross? I'm like, it's the weirdest thing, and I shouldn't be surprised because it's Orion. But he was talking about being Bob Ross, and I'm like, why do you want to be Bob Ross? I'm like, you don't even really draw that much anymore. Like, what are you talking about? And he's like, well, there's a girl at school that calls me Bob Ross. She says I have hair like Bob Ross. And I'm like, what does the girl at your school know about Bob Ross? And then I thought about what school he went to, and I'm like, oh, that's right, she's a wizard too. And he's like, Mom, we're not wizards. You're totally wizards. So, Orion wants to do that. Maggie, on the other hand, Maggie, I don't know what Maggie wants to be this year for Halloween. Hopefully not Siren Head again, because she's already pulled out the costume and has been wearing it around the house. And so I'm sitting there the other day, and I go to use the bathroom, and the lights are out in the living room because when Mr. Coffee's not home, for some reason, I have this thing where I cannot turn the lights on in the living room up front. Even back here, I'll leave the lights off until he gets home. Why? I have no clue. Not a clue at all. But I will leave those lights off until he gets home, and then he's like, why don't you turn the lights on? Why don't you mind your business? Leave me alone. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, okay, I need to get up and go to the bathroom. Not realizing that at some point, she had walked past me in this goddamn costume. I get up to go use the bathroom. I guess she had just came out of the bathroom. And usually I have one of my Scentsy warmers in the bathroom that shines a light so that I can see going into the bathroom without having, again, to turn the light on. Because for some reason, I'm allergic to turning lights on. So I'm sitting there, and I go in the bathroom, and she comes out of nowhere. Like, I guess she had just went to the bathroom because she's scared of the toilet in her room. Why? Is it the same toilet as downstairs? Yes. Is she still afraid of it? Yes. Maggie has never been said to be a reasonable person. So she apparently just went to the bathroom or something. She just rounds the corner in this freaking costume that looks like it's like you rip somebody's skin off and it's muscle, but it's all black and gray. But she turns the corner in this. I almost pissed my pants. I was like, girl, what the hell are you doing? And she's like, Mom, it's almost Halloween. That does not mean dress up in Halloween costumes in the house, ma'am. Ma'am, not in the house. No, come on. Like, I almost peed myself. And she goes, Mommy, do you need a diaper? You know what? Get the hell out of my way, kid. So, yeah, so there's that. They already have Halloween stuff out here, which I'm going to ask you guys, because this is the only thing that me and Mr. Coffee agree on. So I'm going to ask you guys, fall is here, right? Fall's here, right? Right. Are you a pumpkin scent person or an apple scent person? Like, you like apple cider and all apple cinnamon sticks and all that kinds of stuff? Or do you like pumpkin stuff? Are you a pumpkin spice chick? Are you someone that enjoys the scent of pumpkin in your house in the fall? Write that down in the comments. I, myself, am an apple person. So when fall started coming around and all my Scentsy stuff turned to fall stuff, the way my life was set up, I'm getting ready to buy all this stuff. And I tell Mr. Coffee, I'm so excited because, fall's here. And one of my favorite scents, especially in the fall, is apples and cinnamon. And he's like, yeah, I like apples and cinnamon too. Please don't do the pumpkin stuff this year. Because last year I did pumpkin stuff and it did not go over well in my house. We are very much an apple family. So I'm just like, yeah, we're going to do apple cinnamon sticks and stuff like that this year. We're not going to do like pumpkin stuff because I don't, the pumpkin roll scent that I had wasn't bad. But it was really strong. And for days, all you could smell in my house was pumpkin roll. And I'm like, I don't even eat pumpkin roll. Pumpkin pie? Yeah, all day. Pumpkin roll? No. So there's that. Also came to the realization, Maggie, I was doing her hair this morning and I'm like, we're braiding your hair down today. And she's like, oh, really? I'm like, yeah, we are. So fighting with her, and I finally get her in the figure 4 to braid her hair. And I'm braiding her hair and she starts coughing. And I'm like, why are you coughing? Mr. Coffee walks by and goes, her birthday's in a few weeks. God dang it. Okay, for those who weren't here last year, Maggie, for her birthday yesterday, gave us, me and her, had the panini because she brought it from school and was like, I would like to share it with no one else, just you, Mommy. Mommy, just you. Were we all still quarantined in the house? Yes, because we're all going to make sure that we're going to be safe. If one of us is safe, we all being safe. So we had to quarantine for 2 weeks because that's back when everything was 2 weeks. Best 2 weeks of my life. Minus the fact that I couldn't breathe and everything was super exhausting to do. So I am also replacing the black drills on this canvas with my metallic black drills from Diamond Dots. This is the metallic platinum. So they're black on the bottom of them, and then they have this platinum coating, and I thought it would make it a little bit of extra razzle. Y'all know Miss Coffee can't just leave shit alone. I gotta fiddle with everything. So there's that. But school so far is going great for the kids. They're having a lot of fun. Maggie is actually legit reading. Orion is doing wizarding things, and I can already hear him in my head going, Mom, I'm not a wizard. And so they're having a lot of fun. Minna started today. She wasn't excited about going back to school, but what teenager is? So I was like, have a great day, sweetie. I love you. Bye-bye. Yeah, and then I realized quickly after last week. So last year, whenever the kids would go to school, I would get so much stuff done because the kids were at school. And usually it was like stuff for YouTube, like recording videos and this and that. Y'all, I've backed off of YouTube. Like, I backed away from YouTube. Not like I quit YouTube. No. I just slowed down on videos because I don't feel like I need to be putting up that many videos every day. But I slowed down on videos. So now I'm like, well, what the hell am I supposed to do all day? So the other day I was like, well, clean the house. Duh. It took me 2 hours to clean the house. I'm like, now what the hell am I supposed to do with the rest of the time I had? So I just went and streamed on Twitch. So if you would like to catch Miss Coffee, since I'm not posting as much anymore, catch me on Twitch. Feel free to come over. We have lots of fun. We hang out and do crafts and all kinds of stuff. So yeah. So I'm learning very quickly that I got to get back into the groove of doing something when the kids aren't home. Because literally I will sit here and stare at the wall. I will play with the dogs. Like, I spent a good majority of that first day the kids were gone just playing with the dogs. Like, that wasn't something I did already when the kids were here. Like, just taking them outside and throwing the tennis ball with them and making them run and go get it. Going for walks back in the field and everything. And I'm just like, you know, this is stuff that we had already did in the summertime. Like, and I keep telling myself, I'm like, I feel like I'm supposed to be doing something, but I'm not sure exactly what that something is. It's because last year I was recording a lot of videos, and this year I'm not recording as many videos. So I'm like, yep, that's it. That's it. So I'm like, oh, great. So now I have all this free time in the mornings. So I decided yesterday, I'm like, well, since I have all this free time, I'm going to go ahead and stream. Nay. The way my internet's set up, it apparently hates mornings. Hates mornings. That was the choppiest stream ever. And then it got, like, the VOD got deleted, which is what they call, the VOD is what they call the replay. It got deleted. And I was like, God dang it. So yeah, it was just really choppy yesterday, and I don't know what happened, but I gotta figure that out. Like, I was messing with the settings this morning to see what was going on, and I was checking, like, my internet speeds, and for some reason, my internet in the morning is not the best. It's like my internet needs time to wake up. Like, at this point, though, my internet's gonna have to get an alarm clock and wake up at 7 o'clock with the rest of us, because by the time I drop off Maggie, look, listen, it's time to record. Let's go. So yeah, so then Saturday, there was a little bit of a little hiccup of things that happened, and I can't and won't talk about it. But yesterday was fun. Well, let's see. Friday night we played games live on Twitch after my YouTube stream, which we do community game night over there. We play Fall Guys and Jackbox and all kinds of fun things. I think this week we're gonna play. We might play Fall Guys again. I'm not sure. We'll figure it out. If you're one of my Twitch folks, write down in the comments. Do we play Fall Guys or do we play Jackbox? If you just want to come over and watch us, suffer, put Fall Guys. So yeah, but we played the game, and me and Mr. Coffee stayed up way late. And because it's the first time all week I had been able to stay up late, and I'm currently going through, like, some mental stuff right now, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm not tired. With the kids going back to school, it really messed up my head a little bit. So, like, that manic, frantic state of mind that I get into, that, like, my whole world's going to crumble apart because I'm not doing the same routine over and over again every day, that started rearing its ugly head, and it caused severe insomnia. Now, with my insomnia, I can try to go to bed, but what happens is I end up just having a bunch of nightmares or something. Like, and it's not even, like, scary stuff. It's like the stupidest shit. Like, I'll wake up and there'll be somebody standing at the edge of my bed asking for cereal. Like, I'm not joking you. And it's not like one of the kids or anything. It's like a monster or something. I don't freaking know. It's like stupid shit. But my brain just, of course, doesn't work like everybody else's. So, these stupid things happen. So we stayed up super late Friday night. Saturday, I got up, got dressed, got the dogs out. Or no, we were getting ready to get the dogs out. I got jumped on by Killian. So I'm laying in bed, and I hear him boofing in my sleep. So when I go to sleep, I'm a very light sleeper. Will I always wake myself up? No. But I can still hear everything that's going on around me. So I'm sitting there minding my own crafty business, and Killian jumps on me. And it's like 10 o'clock. Now, Killian is on new meds for his, zinc deficiency. And she did say that one of the side effects is that he will have to go to the bathroom more. So we've been making sure to take him out an extra time or two when need be, just so he doesn't have any accidents in the house. Well, Saturday, I'm sitting here minding my own crafty business, sleep in bed. Maggie comes in. Good morning, Mommy. Good morning, Maggie. She's like, I'm going to go get some breakfast. I'm like, go get your breakfast. I'm like, you want something? You want me to make you something, or are you're going to do it yourself? And Maggie's very much right now into that I'm independent and I don't need you stage. So she's like, I'll just do it myself. And I'm like, all right, please don't burn the house down. She goes, I'll try not to. She walks away. Orion comes in 10 minutes later. Good morning, Mommy. Good morning. I'm like, I love how y'all say good morning to me, but never say good morning to your dad. He's like, because he can't hear us. You can hear us. And I'm like, facts. So I was like, all right, bet. He's like, I'm going to go get breakfast. I'm like, you want me to make you something, or are you going to make it yourself? He's like, I'm going to make it myself. All right. And Orion usually always makes his breakfast himself. So I was like, whatever. Not a big deal. So they go to make their breakfast and everything. And I'm like, all right, bet. So I'm laying there and I'm like, I'm going to get up in a few minutes. You know that routine you got to do. You got to give that pep talk to yourself that you're going to get out of that bed in a few minutes. And then 45 minutes later, you're like, I really need to get out of this bed. So I'm laying in bed, minding my own crafty business, and Killian starts boofing. Well, at this point, I had fallen back to sleep. He didn't like that very much. He starts boofing at me. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, and I can't talk to him because I'm asleep, but I can hear him. And I'm like, Killian, stop. Like, it's very rare that Killian makes noise unless he really, really wants something. And I should have taken that as a sign to get up, and I didn't. And now I'm mad that I didn't, because he decided that because I didn't get up, he had to go to the bathroom. I didn't realize that that's what he was boofing for. I thought he was just boofing because he's Killian and he can be kind of a butthole sometimes. Ooh, I like the way that looks. Look how super sparkly that is. So I was like, okay, what is he, whatever. He finally stops and he runs downstairs. And I'm thinking, well, what the hell is he doing? Like, he must hear somebody on the porch or something. I was like, I'll get up in a few minutes. So I slowly start getting up. And all I hear is, oh my God, Killian, what are you doing? My dogs don't typically have accidents, but when they do, they make sure they're a photo finish. This dog took the longest piss on the door that he could possibly muster. And I'm like, how do you have to pee that much when you literally went out to the bathroom at 6 in the morning? Like, literally at 6 a.m. Since we weren't in bed yet, I took them out again before we went to bed so that we could sleep in a little bit. So by 11 o'clock, when I finally do get up, he has to go again so bad that he literally pisses on the door. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Now, I have two options here. I either get up, clean that up, take them outside, and come back in, or I get up, wake Mr. Coffee up, have him spend the next 45 minutes getting out of bed. And when I say 45 minutes, it's because Mr. Coffee just doesn't get out of bed. He has to lay there and contemplate his life. Did I make the right choices? Then after he makes that decision, he has to sit up, and then he'll sit up in bed for 10. Like, does anybody else's spouse do this? It drives me absolutely insane. He will sit up, but then sit there for like 10 minutes. Takes him another 5 minutes to get dressed. Takes him like 25 minutes to go to the bathroom. Then he comes out of the bathroom, and I'm like, I thought you were taking a shower or something. He's like, no, I already took a shower today. Or he'll be like, I'm taking a shower later. And I'm like, then what the hell took you so long? And then he'll go downstairs. He'll take his medicine, which takes him another 10 minutes to take 3 pills. And then he has to make more tea and all this. And I'm like, dude, stop procrastinating and take those dogs out. The quicker you do this, the quicker you can get them out and get back in the house. Y'all, I'm not even joking you. I timed it the one day. It took him 45 minutes to get up, get dressed, go to the bathroom, go get his medicine, and then walk the dogs. And I'm like, and then you wonder why I don't want to wait for you on the weekends, because he'll always tell me that, it's the weekend, so, the dogs can wait a little bit while he gets up. And I'm like, I'm going to do that to you next time. Next time you're like, I'm hungry. What are you making for dinner? I'm going to make you wait 45 minutes for me to get up and get settled before I go start making dinner. And I did. I did it this weekend. I did it Sunday. He's like, what do you want to have for dinner? And I'm like, I don't know. Just find something for dinner. Well, 45 minutes later, I decide, I'm like, I should probably get up and make dinner, huh? He's like, I'm starving. I'm like, are you? You could have made dinner yourself, you jerk. Don't mess with me. What the hell? All right. I need my next color. I have not kitted this up. I have not kitted this up. So what number? I'm looking for 340. So, like, literally everything is still in its bag. I even have like the cover minders still in their bags. Oh, that does have the thing on it. Like, when I tell you I had a very lazy weekend this weekend, all I did was stream. That's it. That seems to be my life now. I just stream all day, every day. And I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. I really enjoy streaming over on Twitch. It's a lot of fun, and I'm meeting a lot of new people. We had a weird person come in yesterday. But I'm meeting a lot of new, interesting people. And, yeah, they're making friends with some of the diamond painters, which is nice. Let's see. Where is this? Okay, I'm going to pause, y'all, so I can find the thing. I know. I should have been ready. Mind your business. I'll be right back. Y'all, the amount of time that it just took me to find this bag is ridiculous. Moving right along. Anyways, where was I at? I don't remember. Let's talk about something else. So, the kids are doing great in school. Walmart has out their Halloween costumes, and I'm shooketh because I'm like, it's not even September yet. Maggie's coughing already, and so I'm scared that I'm going to get sick. So I'm going to try to avoid Maggie like the plague, because I don't want to get sick again, okay? I don't want to get sick again, and they're doing no kind of precautions for this anymore, so I'm just like, God dang it. So yeah, the amount of time that it just took me to find these drills just to find out that they're already in a bag. How many times have you done this? So on the canvas here, it says that the symbol I was looking for was number 7, right? I'm looking for symbol number 7. And I'm like, all right, bet. I looked at number 7 on the legend instead of looking for symbol 7. Took me 15 minutes to find it, which was sitting, of course, right in my face. Just so that it could be the wrong one. And I was like, God dang it. Now, this canvas does come with ABs. It comes with a couple of them, actually. 310 is one of them, which is what I use for the metallic down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the ones that she gave me for the outline of the poop. And then the bottom part, I use the metallic platinum, because I just like the way that looks. That looks clean. I like it. So we're just going to do that. We also started implementing a new thing in the house. So the kids have homework every day. And it's not like busy work or anything like that. It's legitimately, they just have to read and practice. Maggie has to practice her math facts, which right now she's practicing, not fractions, multiplication. She's actually doing pretty good at it. The kids love math. And again, they get that from their fathers, because I suck at math. Even Minna likes math, and I'm like, that's gross. Like, legit, I look at them and go, that's gross. And they're like, but math is fun. You're so gross. As y'all know, Miss Coffee don't math, and I'm just happy that they're having fun with it, because that just means that they'll be smarter than me. And my goal in life has been completed. All I want is to have smart children that are smarter than me. Now, sometimes that works good in my favor, and sometimes it doesn't. Anyways, so that's their homework. So what we've been doing is, when they get home from school, we have like a little nook back here now. The office, since it's not being used as often as I thought it would be, the office is now turned into like the children's crafty corner. And so when they get home from school, they have their beanbag chairs, and they will sit in their beanbag chairs, and they can either choose to read to us as a group, or they can read silently to themselves. So usually Maggie reads out loud, because of course she loves being the center of attention, and then Orion will read to himself. And every once in a while, we'll get him to be able to read something to us. Orion even got a paper from school saying that he could get a job. And I'm like, child labor laws? Say what? And he's like, what's child labor laws? Saying that you're not supposed to have a job. And he's like, I'm like, what kind of job are you having? Well, they're jobs. They give the kids jobs at the school that they can get paid for, and snacks and stuff. And I'm like, snacks? Isn't this against the law or something? Like, you making my child work for Twinkies or something? Like, what the hell? We'll twerk for Twinkies. I hate Twinkies, by the way. They're gross. So he tells me that he can pick a job. And I'm like, okay, what kind of job do you want? So he starts going down the list of these jobs that they gave him. And he was like, I can do this job or that job. And I'm like, oh, that's great. That sounds fun. That sounds annoying. And then he's like, librarian. But I'm not sure how I could be a librarian. I'm like, why wouldn't you be a librarian? He goes, Mom, we've been in school a week, and I still have yet to see the library. And he's like, I don't think they have one. I'm like, all schools have a library. I don't know if his school has a library, y'all. I can't imagine a school without a library. but he hasn't been to it yet. And he has the same schedule every day. So he does like the same like 6 or 7 classes or something like that every day. But there's nothing on there about going to a library. And so I'm like, hold up. I don't remember seeing a library in that school either. Like, do y'all just not have a library? Do y'all just like use the internet? Like, what? I mean, I can understand why, because then you don't have to worry about children messing up books or books not coming back and the parents having to pay for a book that they've never seen and or read before. So I can understand it, but I'm like, it's just weird if they don't have a library. We're still unsure. Orion has gone in to investigate whether or not they have a library or not. I'm assuming that they would have a library, but again, he hasn't seen it. So I'm just like, well, I don't know what you want me to do. You want me to come to the school and go look for the library? I can't go look for the library. You trying to get me arrested or something? Like, what the hell? So, yeah. Let's see here. We're just going to move over to this side. We're going to put these back in here. I want to get this pink done. These bright colors are giving me life right now. I did work on this just a tad bit. I want to say Saturday before all the chaos happened. This weekend was just crazy. And with the kids being back in school and stuff, having all the extra free time, I'm sitting here like, okay, well, there's a lot of stuff that I could be doing, but what do I end up doing? Nothing. So I'm trying to get better at like getting back into the groove of organizing my time while the kids are at school. Like this morning, I didn't feel like recording. I'm not going to lie. I sat here and looked at this phone for like 20 minutes. 20 minutes turned into an hour on TikTok, and I was like, I need to record a video. So I was like, let me get off TikTok and actually get my butt up and record a freaking video. So yeah, I had to get up and record the video, but all my stuff is done in the house. I even dusted off the Roomba. The Roomba had a 3-month break, mostly because if you don't give the Roomba a break, right, what ends up happening is the Roomba will come back into the room that you're in with random toys and assortments on it. And with the ferrets aren't afraid of a vacuum. They will knuckle up with a vacuum. We learned that the hard way when we almost sucked up Anna a few times because the ferrets were out one day when we were vacuuming up something that Mr. Coffee had spilled on the floor. I want to say he was cleaning out the litter box and knocked over the litter. And so we had to vacuum it up. Well, we go to vacuum it up and she starts trying to steal the goddamn vacuum as he's vacuuming. Like she's biting at it and she's like trying to take the hose off of it and everything. So they will knuckle up with a vacuum. With the Roomba, Gumball has some personal vendetta against it because when we first got them, which yesterday is their 1 year I gotcha day. So if you don't know what that means a year ago yesterday on the 2 days ago. On the 28th of August is when we got them last year. So we've had the ferrets for a year now, which has been lots of fun. So when we got them, one of the kids or somebody, I want to say it's probably one of the dogs, bumped into the Roomba while the ferrets were out. And it ran into Gumball. Like, it didn't suck him up or anything. It just bumped into him. Ever since then, when he sees it, it's on sight. He straight up Tom and Jerry's that freaking Roomba. And he will chase it. He will try to, like, get it to stop moving. He will jump on top of it and ride it around. And if I can get him to do it again, of course, I will do a video and put it up on Instagram or something. But, like, he does not like this Roomba. And when he's on top of it, he's not just, like, enjoying the ride. No, he's like giving it skibbity paps, as I call it. Skibbity paps is like when the cats bat at each other and stuff. But that's what I call what the ferrets do to the Roomba. Because apparently then when Anna sees this, she's like, oh, nobody's messing with my brother. And then she'll hop on and start like beating it up too. And realizing that they're not really doing anything besides turning it off and turning it on. Because their little paw pads, when they hit that power on and off button, it's a touch thing. So like it doesn't have a button that you have to actually press. So when they touch it, it just moves and stops and moves and stops and moves and stops. Well, I dusted it off the other day and I'm like, let me get the ferrets put away. So I put the ferrets away, pull it out, and I'm like, okay, I shouldn't have any problems. I go to start trying to stream. I'm streaming and I still hear it running. So I'm like, okay, well, it's still running. It shouldn't get caught anywhere because the boundaries are up. So it gives you this little power strip thing that you put down where you don't want the Roomba to go. Well, my Roomba has decided that since its break, it has forgotten all about how to function properly. And even though the strip was there, it literally ran over the strip and got stuck underneath the couch. Because the couches we have are recliners. So it got stuck under the one arm of the couch. And I'm like, you gotta be freaking kidding me. I'm like, time to go play Let's Find the Roomba. And so I finally find it after 10 minutes. It's like literally up under the couch. And I didn't think to look under the couch at first because I haven't used it in so long. And I don't know why, like I said, when the kids are out of school, for some reason, Maggie chooses violence with this thing and keeps putting stuff on it and making it carry things for her and everything else. So I stopped using it and was just regularly vacuuming. But now that the kids are back in school, I can have it vacuuming while I'm upstairs cleaning, like, the kids' bathrooms and my bathroom and everything else. So I was like, let's just do that. Well, doing that, I noticed that I hadn't heard it anymore. And I'm like, what the hell? So I go downstairs to look for it. I'm looking for this goddamn Roomba for 20 minutes to find out that somehow it has parkoured itself into the dog's crate and was sitting at the back of the dog crate in Daisy's crate. And I'm like, how the hell did it get in there? Now take it. These are cages. Like, they're like raised off the floor like 2 inches or something like that. But somehow it parkoured itself into the dog thing. And I'm wondering why, like, Daisy's sitting at the top of the stairs looking downstairs. Here, she's looking at it take over her bed and saying nothing. But if nothing else, it cleared out all the dog fur and stuff that was in her cage. So yeah, so now we're having fun adventures with the Roomba. If you didn't already hear, which I'm sure you probably have by now, my new headphones came in. I'm super freaking excited. I don't know how I lived all my life without these headphones. These headphones are something else. I was not expecting this. So, one, mine came from Amazon because Skull Candy, yeah, they can kiss my ass. But they came from Amazon. And so I was super excited when they finally get here because, Amazon doesn't have their regular priming anymore. Like, they don't have the 2-day, like, you can get stuff in 2 days or whatever. Now you can get stuff in 2 weeks. Like, that's how that works now. Like, you can get regular postal service times for a higher cost. That's how I see it because, essentially, for me, that's what it's doing. It's literally giving it to me in the same amount of time, just at a higher cost, and then they call it Prime. And I'm like, nothing about this is Prime. Like, nothing about this. Anyways, moving right along. So they get here and I charge them up, and I don't think I've taken these things off since. I've had these headphones on every day, all day. My rose gold Beats headphones are sitting in their case because I have completely abandoned them. I am not afraid to say that when I get new things, I abandon my old things like they are nothing. But then as soon as that new thing starts acting up or acting funny, I pull out the old thing like I shouldn't have put it away ever. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, all right. So I put away the old headphones, brought out the new headphones, and literally, I don't care what I'm doing. I can be going to the bathroom and I'm just sitting there like listening to like music on my phone, or I'll connect it to my computer and listen to like streams while I'm diamond painting or while I'm drawing or whatnot. And it's just been like the most best thing ever. Like it's just been wonderful. And so Mr. Coffee was a big Skull Candy fan back when I first met him. And so I'm like, hey, did you want to try these headphones? And he's like, yeah, let me try them. I'm like, give you a heads up. There's something else. They're not normal headphones. The reason why I say this to him, I gave him this little disclaimer, was because I have that disorder that like noises, certain frequencies, like make my body feel like I'm floating. Like I'm out of this world floating. Sorry, I keep getting messages. I have counseling today, and my counselor is pretty excited to talk today because we haven't talked in a couple of weeks. Just because with the kids being on their last days of school and everything, or last days out of school, I spent that time with them instead of going to counseling. And I've been in a pretty good headspace, minus like the whole, like, of course, Miss Stilettos thing. I've been in a pretty good headspace, so I was like, I don't feel like I need it right now. And I usually only talk to her when I feel like I really, really need her. Because I still have to pay for that. So I don't want to pay for something I don't necessarily need right now, or I don't feel that I need. So I took a little break, but then I'm going back to counseling again. Not because I'm not in a good headspace, but just to keep up with things. And let's see, number 7. What? See, I just did this. Number 7 was 602, wasn't it? 605. There's 602. I just had that bag of ABs. Okay, there it is. I was about to say, how many people lose their bags of drills once they put them down? Jeez, So, I'm sitting there, and, oh, okay. Now I can't even function the bag. Oh, geez. So, yeah, I have counseling today, and while the kids were, like, it's hard to do counseling, especially since I do it virtually. It's hard to do it with the kids being out. So that was the other reason too, because when we did do it when the kids were home, Maggie kept coming back here or interrupting me, and I'm like, dude, I'm in the middle of something kind of important. And she'd be like, Mommy, can I get a lollipop? I'm like, dude, just go get the lollipop. So I'm pretty excited to talk to her today because I'll actually get to talk to her without like interruptions from anyone. So that's going to be lots of fun because, you know, I have lots of stuff to tell her. I've made new friends, and that's going to make her excited because I don't know what it is about being an adult that makes me like so crotchety, but I'm hella crotchety, and I'm like, I'm at that age where I'm like, I don't feel like I need any more friends. Well, I made some new friends over the last few weeks, and I'm like, how did I live without these people? I love them so much. And then part of me is like, make more friends. And I'm like, no, I don't want any more friends. I'm such a weird human. Anyways, so the other morning, with school being back in session, of course, you know, everybody who has children is, you know, taking their kids to school around here and everything. And the other morning, I come out of the house, and I was telling my Twitch folks this because it tripped me out. Like, I didn't know what to do or say. But you ever have some drama happen around your house and you're so shooketh that you're just still. You can't move. You just have to sit and watch this train wreck. This tea was so good that the dogs even watched, okay? So we coming out of the house to get ready to take the dogs on their morning walk. Because before I take the kids to school, or before I take Maggie to school, because Mr. Coffee still takes a Ryan to school. Before I take the kids to school, I take the dogs out to the dog park. So I'm on my way out to the dog park, and all I hear is, UFB. And of course, I'm not going to be cussing because YouTube has been cracking down on cussing. So I can't cuss a lot. But this little kid is calling his mom the B word and the elemental P word. And I'm like, oh, damn. And so, and then I just cursed. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, I can't move because I'm just staring at them. And they're like at the corner townhouses over by my house here. And so I'm sitting there staring at them, and I'm like, oh God. Well, the little boy, I guess she must have popped him for saying something inappropriate, and he didn't like it. So he ran outside and told her that she can't touch him anymore and leave him alone and blah, 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 blah. And he goes, I'll walk to school. I don't need your fat to take me to school. And I'm like, oh, snap. She then throws the backpack at him and is like, fine, walk. I didn't want to take you to school anyways. Y'all, I'm not joking. This little kid gets up, gets his backpack, starts walking, comes close to my house, gets to the stop sign, starts like ugly crying, runs back home, is, Mommy, let me back in. I'm scared. I'm like, dude, what the heck? Like, and I didn't know what he was scared of. And I also didn't realize that I had just been standing there for like 5 minutes watching all of this while the dogs literally are watching this as well. Like, they have both sat down, like, legit watching this. You could have given them a bowl of popcorn. They were watching it so hard. And this little boy's like, there's big dogs out here. That's when it snapped at me that, hey, dumbass, go walk your dogs. And I was like, oh, snap, that's me. So I got running up the street so I could walk the dogs. Because I didn't realize I had been standing there staring at this train wreck for a while. It was a hot mess, y'all. It was a hot mess. But when I went to leave, like 20 minutes later or so, with Maggie to take her to school, the mom was taking the little boy to school. All right. And then update on the little kids that have been bothering Maggie. There was a little bit of an altercation this weekend, and I don't think the kids are going to have a problem with those kids bothering them anymore. Even after the altercation this weekend, one of the little girls came over to the house yesterday as Maggie was sitting on the porch. I told her, you can sit on the porch. That is it. If you see them at the playground, you come home. Well, I will take you up the street to the other playground, but we're not doing this interaction thing anymore. We're not doing this. So Maggie's sitting on the porch, and one of the little girls comes over and says hi to her, and Maggie goes, nope, comes in the house, slams the door. And I was like, what are you slamming my door for? And she goes, because so-and-so tried to talk to me. And I'm like, okay. Well, I go to walk the dogs before picking up the kids from school yesterday. Sorry, I'm looking for my next color. I can't find the symbol on the page for some reason. Yeah, I'm looking at the... Okay, there it is, 3609. All right, so I'm sitting here, and it was time to take the dogs out yesterday, and I was like, all right, let me take the dogs out quick so I can go, pick up the kids. And after, like, my stream yesterday, I was feeling some type of way because, like, my stream got, like, one, the VOD was taken down. And it wasn't taken down by Twitch, but the VOD was deleted. And I was mad about that. I was mad because my connection was horrible. For some reason, in the mornings, my connection isn't the best. In the evenings, it's better. But for some reason, in the mornings, it's absolute trash. And I don't know why. I've tried doing the Wi-Fi booster thing. It did absolutely nothing. So I was like, God dang it. So I'm going to try it again with a different booster to see if that helps. Or I'm going to see about getting a new router to see if that possibly will help. We did just have them come in and put in a new router. But for some reason, it still isn't connecting the best in the morning. Like, the speeds are awful in the morning. So I'm like, God dang it. The mornings are better for me just because, one, the kids aren't here, so there's no interruptions. Two, nobody's on the internet, so it should be better, but it's not. Apparently, my internet runs better with the more people on it than less people on it. Make it make sense? I don't know. Anyways, so I was already farting and fuming because of that, and then I had some weird troll person come in my chat, and luckily, I have some really good mods, and one of them, I think it was Shadow, actually, that realized that something seemed off about this person, so they went ahead and took care of that, but it kind of put you in a weird mind state for a while. Like, I was a little shook it up, so I was like, all right, let me get these dogs out so I can go sit and get the kids. Well, I go out to the dog park, and of course, for some reason, even as adult humans, some people don't know how to close gates. Now, I can let my dogs loose in the dog park, and I usually do. Usually, if the back gate is open to the dog park, I will just let the dogs loose, let them go start using the bathroom, and I'll walk down and close the gate. They don't typically try to run out of the gate. So I was just like, well, for some reason this time, something told me to keep them on their leash. So I was like, let me just keep them on their leash, because for some reason, like, I don't know, just this weird feeling I had said keep them on their leash. I keep them on the leash, and I walk them down to the bottom of the dog park to go close the gate. At that time, I hear this little yipping noise, and it's like, yip, 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 yip. One, I am not the biggest fan of small dogs. Why? Because I'm 6'1", and I will crush it, okay? I will crush a small animal. So I'm not the biggest fan of small dogs. Plus, they scare Daisy. Daisy does not like small animals. And this is the exact reason why. So apparently, that exact same neighbor whose kids apparently can't keep their hands to themselves, their dog got out of their house. And because most people around here that have little dogs think that their dogs don't need to be leashed because they're little and cute and they're not going to hurt a fly and blah, 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 blah. The little dog got out of their house by accident. It wasn't like they did it intentionally. Literally, they came out of the house and the dog bolted out of the house. And, you know, that happens. They're dogs. That's kind of what they do. They like to give you heart attacks and act like they're running away. Well, this little doggy decided it wanted to run into the dog park. Now, the little girl was trying to get it from coming into the dog park, but she wasn't doing a very good job at it, as she was just walking behind it as this little dog is running full force at my dogs. And so, like, I see it coming, and I'm not going to run away from a small dog, but I will yell at it. So I'm telling her to get the dog and everything else, and the mom is, like, doing something, and the dog gets into the dog park and comes up to my dogs. Now, I wasn't worried about my dogs attacking this dog, because my dogs just, they're not like that. But I'm sitting there, and I'm like, all right, get the dog, please, get the dog. I'm yelling at the dog, no, stop, stay, you know, whatever, seeing if the dog has any kind of home training that I can get it to stop coming at me and the dogs. And I'm not scared of the dog, because the dog is not even a pound. That dog is literally just not even a pound, okay? That's a toy that they have. That's not even a dog. So the dog comes close to me and the dogs. My dogs are still on their leash, thank God. Because if not, yeah, I don't know what would have happened to that little dog, just seeing from what happened already. So I'm walking backwards with the dogs on their leash, and I'm telling them to come with me. They're walking backwards, but Killian, for some reason, has it out for this dog. Killian, I don't know if he likes the dog or not, but Killian is a big dog that likes to play with all dogs. He doesn't care what size they are. So I'm going to guess he probably just wanted to play with the dog, because the dog is constantly coming up to the fence, because any other time it gets out, it comes straight up to the fence when they're in the dog park. So Killian thinks that the dog wants to play with it. Daisy is, like, freaking out. She looks like a horse that just saw a mouse or something. So she's freaking out. Well, the dog straight up comes up to Daisy, bites Daisy's leg. Now, this is the reason Daisy hates small dogs. For some reason, they think her leg is a chicken wing, and they always go for the same leg. Well, Daisy freaked out. The dog bit her, and then Daisy smacked piss out of this dog and smacked it into the fence. Now, we're in the middle of the dog park, okay? So this is the dog park. This is us. And this is the little dog coming near us. Daisy smacks it into the side of the fence. And I'm like, you can't even say anything. 1, I didn't do anything. 2, your dog bit my dog. 3, my dog was defending itself. So even our dogs have beef at this point. So yeah, we have been just trying to avoid them like the plague, because I'm not trying to like get myself into trouble or anything like that. So like we've been trying to avoid them like the plague, but it seems like every time we turn around, these people are somewhere or near us. And I'm like, okay. And on Saturday, like I said, I'm not going to go into details as to what happened. If you heard the story already, then you heard the story, you know. If you haven't, I don't know what to tell you. But there was another issue at the park. And the biggest issue was that, one of the big issues for me was that Maggie went to their house when she was told not to. She went to their house anyways. And then I was told that I should have been better supervising her. And I was like, well, if she came to your house, why didn't you just message me? And she's like, well, I shouldn't have to. You should have eyes on her. I'm like, she's outside. Do you have eyes on your children whenever they're outside? She's like, yes, because I'm not doing anything besides watching them. And I'm like, I don't have to watch my children when they go out. Usually when they go outside, they're fine. Like, they're fine. Like, they know not to talk to strangers and take and eat candy off the ground and stuff like normal human children. So, like, I don't think I need to be where you're always working. Oh, I'm sorry that I have a job inside the home. I apologize for not sitting around and just laying on my back all day, barefoot, and making, pies and cakes and stuff, and just being a good wife. My husband should be ashamed of himself for marrying such a degenerate. And that's not what I said. You're projecting. Projecting what? You see a TV screen out here, bitch? So yeah, there was a whole thing Saturday. And, Maggie essentially went to their house first, which she shouldn't have, and she's grounded because of that. But now we have it where they officially cannot play with each other anymore. It's just not a thing because they can't apparently keep their hands to themselves. And so now that the dogs are into it, Mr. Coffee gets home yesterday and I'm like, yeah, there was another problem. And he goes, what now? He's like, the kids are in the house. And I'm like, it wasn't with the kids this time. And he's like, you didn't. I'm like, I didn't do anything. Of course, he would have blamed me because, I'm me. And I'm like, I didn't do anything. I'm like, it's the dogs. And he's like, oh God, did the dogs bite one of them? I'm like, no. Like the dog, my dogs will only bite if told to do so. Normally, my dogs are not vicious. Their bark is worse than their bite. They do not just randomly go up and attack things. Whether that be animals or whatnot. Like something would have to happen for my dogs to bite. Like they'd have to see you hit a small child or something in order to bite. They're not typically aggressive dogs. They might look like it, but they're not. So I'm like, no, the dogs had a little altercation with their dog. And he's like, they don't have a dog. I'm like, they do have a dog. It's very small. And he's like, oh God. I'm like, yeah. So he's just like, well, how are we going to avoid them? We kind of live here. I'm like, yeah, and so do they. And I don't think they're leaving anytime soon. So, yeah, I don't know what to tell you about this. And so we're trying to figure out a way of avoiding these people without me having to every day take my children up to the bigger playground because they can't play at the playground here because the other children are here. And of course, the little boy that moved from next door, he just moved up the street. So he still comes over here and tries to play with Maggie. The problem is he's friends with both sets of kids. So he'll try to play with both sets of kids at the same time still. And I'm like, yeah, no, we're not doing that. Maggie in the house. So, yeah. So it's just been a crazy, crazy roller coaster ride here at the house. But other than that, so far, so good with school. I'm learning, or I need to learn to manage my time and what to do during the day when the kids are not here now. Because if not, I'm going to have to figure out, something. Something's going to have to happen. I even thought about doing streaming 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, and then having Saturday and Sunday off. Just because if I can figure out the internet situation for in the morning, I can stream every morning while the kids are at school. And then the weekends, I could just have the weekends off of everything. Like I'd be off of YouTube, I'd be off of thing, and I could spend time with the family. Which sounds like an amazing idea, right? Right. But first, I got to get that internet right. So there's that. And then I could mix it up where I do some streams in the morning and some streams in the afternoon. I don't necessarily have to do them all in the morning, but the morning time is prime time because that's when the kids aren't here. So yeah, so I think that's it for me today, guys. Thank you guys so much for listening. I really appreciate it. You guys are the best listeners. If you made it to this point of the video, put a little heart in the comment section for somebody who needs a little extra love today. Maybe somebody's having a rough day or having a rough go at it or got some bad news. Put a little heart to let them know that you care and that, you know, there's always somebody out there that's, you know, thinking of them. Anyways, with that said, thank you guys so much again for watching. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, leave those down in the comment section below. You know how we do, and I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. But with that said, I got to get out of here, so thank you again so much for watching. I love you guys. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And always remember to, don't forget to wear your mask, wash your hands. Don't touch your face in public. That's gross. Keep your 6 feet and always try to be kind to others, because you never know what somebody else is going through. Be courteous because it's the right thing to do, and always stay cool. Bye, guys.